Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sometimes it's just really not easy to get ahead of the curve. As much as I try, there's only a little bit I really have in control, and it sucks. And what do I mean by that? I am not the only partially insane, crazy car guy on YouTube, and there are many of us out there, many more with money and equipment and the abilities to make their craziness actually a reality, unlike some people. So needless to say, they are able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And it sucks because some of the crazy ideas that I've been thinking of and that I have always wanted to do are now becoming reality by other people. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because now I can watch the other people do it and see if it was a complete waste of time and money or not. Or at least I can see them work out the kinks, and then when I come in to do it eventually, I will already know what not to do. So I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're going to talk more about what I'm talking about now here just after the intro break.
Let's have some fun on Karz Created.
So I have a bunch of crazy ideas, and you know, eventually I will try to do what I can with them. Not just, I mean, with this particular car, I mean, like with total builds, just ideas in general. Hell, there's even a build I want to do based around an engine that I want to create, and that's kind of where this comes into play, because it was such a off-the-wall idea and no one has really done it, mainly because there's really no support for such a project. You have to make everything yourself, have to have everything custom made, which means big money, which I don't have. But if I ever became a rich YouTuber, this was the project I would love to do, which is building a Ford Triton V10. Yeah, a Ford Triton V10. Not building it just to handle more power, no. I mean, that's kind of been done. What hasn't been done, really, is building a Ford Triton V10 in the manner to be something like the Viper V10, or an exotic V10, like a Lamborghini V10, or an Audi V10, or whatever. No one's really done that. In order to kind of get there, you need something that can rev really high, and that's something the Ford V10 does not do. It does not rev. It is all low revs, all torque. That is that engine's priority. I always wanted to take a V10 like that and turn it into a high revving monster, either naturally aspirated or forced induction, probably like a twin turbo setup or something. And something that revved like out to God knows 9,000, 10,000 RPMs. That would be ridiculous. I probably would have done was actually de-stroked it if I could, and find a way to make it breathe and make this ridiculous thing no one else has ever made. And the whole idea was to make this engine and put it in a bespoke Ford supercar that I would love to build out of factory Ford parts, and maybe like a factory 5 kit car or something. Somehow be able to mesh the two together into some crazy one-of-a-kind Ford supercar that's using Ford parts. So that was really one of my like end goal ideas. Have I ever gotten there? The V10 was kind of the heart of that whole idea. Like, wow, no one's made a high revving Ford V10 before. You know, that's something unheard of. Until just recently. And that's where this whole thing kind of comes into play. So just recently, I've discovered a channel that happens to be building a high revving, naturally aspirated Ford V10. Oh, you got it. It's actually happening, and it ain't by me. So I'm gonna link the channel up here. The channel's called Do It Yourself. It's pretty cool. The motto is, if you can't find it, make it yourself, do it yourself. Yeah, I agree, exactly. I love it. This guy is taking, you know, my idea and running with it, and it seems like he's gonna have great success. So I am definitely staying tuned into this whole build of his, because I wanna see the outcome, obviously. You know, if you wanna see it, go right ahead. There's his channel right there. Go subscribe, go watch. And it's crazy because he's made his own cylinder heads. It's crazy the amount of, you know, work he's put into this project. And it's all from Ford parts. It's really cool to see, and I'm very curious of the outcome. Now, the only difference with his project versus my idea of said project is, you know, he's shooting for about a 8,000 RPM limit, where, you know, I kind of want to go to the moon with my RPM because I love high revving engines, even though 8,000 is a lot of RPM, but I wanted to kind of build a Ford V10 that isn't so much Viper-ish. Audi, Lamborghini, you know, 9,000 plus RPM build, and really 10,000 would be the sweet spot. Really take it over the edge. So that's the only like real difference. Which his build is probably way more realistic. Seriously. You know, it is a little bit of a bummer, and it saddens me, because in the world of YouTube, if you ain't first, you're last. I need a therapy pool. Okay. I feel slightly better now. You know, the whole idea about being first to do something is you will get that recognition, you know, especially if you're doing something no one else has done. It captivates people's attention. It's like, wow, is that really possible? Now I'm curious. And, you know, that's how that works. So, what are you gonna do, right? I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. I'll get there eventually. Maybe. Probably not. Who knows? I don't know what the future brings. I'm trying my damnedest to make YouTube work. And it's not easy. It's tough, man. It really is. I'm sure something will take off one day, you know. Hopefully I can be able to capitalize on it when it does, so I can, you know, make these ideas come to life and not by someone else. But it's pretty crazy to think that something so obscure, something so out there, you think no one else would have that idea, and that's far from the truth. I've always kind of been like that guy. You know, I've always had like this innovative mind, even as a child. I still remember being young, and you know, this was probably back in the early 2000s. Nothing quite existed yet to such thing. You know, I was like, we have cell phones. Why can't we have a way to see who we're talking to while we're talking to them? You know, why can't we put a camera on the phone and talk to them? Like, this was an idea I had even before it actually became a thing. And now we can. We have phones with cameras on them, and we can FaceTime or video chat or whatever you call it. You can talk to people and see them in real time over wireless connection. Like, these were ideas I had when I was a kid, and I've always been that way. Obviously, my kind of mind is not just unique to me. There's plenty of people like me out there, like the guy who's building this crazy V10, and there's just plenty of others. You know, I actually just stumbled across another channel, and I haven't really just now discovered it, but I am now really starting to get into what this particular person is doing. And this particular channel is Alex LTDLX. This guy is also a mad scientist in his own way, and he creates some crazy stuff. He's created a freaking usable electric supercharger that he's designed himself. I mean, he's a madman. I love it. I love it so much. And he has all these crazy ideas. He does a lot of things how I do, in a sense where he has these crazy ideas. He goes and does tests. He takes data logs. He shows data whether these things work, except, you know, his ideas are a lot more, how should I put it? More interesting, perhaps, than mine. He definitely has the knowledge, and he seems to have some type of funding, and at least to do what he does, and he has some of the tools required. You know, a lot of that is important, because without one of those, you're kind of, you know, in trouble. He also has the ability to bring these ideas to life. So once again, if you want to check out his channel, right here, check it out. Alex LTDLX. Yeah, he actually has an LTDLX for all the Ford guys out there. Pretty cool car. Actually, I always wanted to build one of those too, or a Fairmont. Fairmont would have been cool. once again, that's a project for another day, which ain't gonna be today or tomorrow. So many ideas, so many projects, so little money. But it could be worse, I guess. It could always be worse. At least I have something for the moment. You know, honestly, I'm actually really grateful to still be able to do, you know, the things I can with this car, you know, especially with all the craziness going on behind the scenes that, you know, I don't share on YouTube for personal reasons. And with that said, new parts are ordered, so that's good. Slowly, things are coming together, you know, slowly I'm acquiring what I need for this car, so that should be coming within a week or so, so keep a lookout for that video. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share with everyone you know. You want to see more content like this and you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Keep a lookout for next true car enthusiast video.